guys, welcome to the introduction and how to get started with StocksToTrade. What I'm going to do in this video is going to basically take you from a default install with no configuration. I'm going to step you through all of the main features. I'm going to kind of try and keep this video under, an hour or so. There's hundreds, thousands of features and possibilities in StocksToTrade. So trust me, I will not get to them all, but I have built a list of kind of the core objects and core items in it to kind of, again, the goal is to take you from maybe a new user or someone who's interested, or maybe you're running the trial right now and you really kind of want to get your hands dirty and get started with StocksToTrade and see what you can do to find the best stocks to trade each day. So that's going to be the goal, and I am Tim Bowen. I am the lead trainer at StocksToTrade. So just a little kind of a brief history on me, but I've been interested in finance, literally almost my entire life. I had an interest in elementary school in stocks. Don't know where it came from, just kind of one of those things. I've always watched stock tickers, always been interested in financials, always been interested in the stock market. So I had dabbled in investing and trading kind of once I got into college in my early adult life with not a whole lot of success, scratch, maybe make a little bit here, lose a little bit here, never really any great success. And then around 2007, 2008, the market got really volatile, if you remember those times. And I got much more involved in day trading, as well as particularly back then short selling. Really learned to short back in those days, back when those were the golden days of short selling for sure, where any stock up, you could pretty much short it and be pretty confident you could make money. So I found some early success in day trading, and then at the time it owned my own business. So it was always part-time trading, really going back, to 2007, which is, 8-9 years now. Been involved watching the markets every day since then. And then, again, started finding more and more success and more enjoyment. Really found out why, going back to elementary school, I had such a passion in finances was because that was really my true love. So around 2013 or so, sold my company and went into day trading full-time. So since 2013 until now, this is roughly the end of 2016 right now, I have been a full-time day trader. Going back about a year ago, StocksToTrade approached me and said, hey, we're looking for someone that is well-versed in finance, well-versed in trading, has seen almost every trading platform out there. I have used them all. I'll admit I'm kind of a geek, so I like always checking out new software. I've used everything. So they approached me and said, hey, would you be interested in really getting into the nitty-gritty of our package and being the lead trainer? So when we need videos like this done, how-to videos, educational, would you be willing to do those? And I jumped at the chance, mainly because what I saw in StocksToTrade was truly a rapidly evolving platform. You'll hear a lot of that in any software package, but StocksToTrade is truly that. We have decided that we are going to constantly be evolving, constantly getting better, and catering ourselves to day traders. There's a lot of platforms out there that either are more investment-based or more day trader-based, and you'll end up with basically, you'll have the investment-based packages that are all fundamentals, and never really get into every little tick, or you'll get a day trading platform that doesn't focus on the fundamentals at all, is strictly a level 2 box and a chart box, and that's about it. And nobody has ever said, we're going to do both. We're going to be fundamental, technical, and really try and cater ourselves specifically to day traders, swing traders, short-term investors, etc., and be always evolving. The changes, I came on board in about December 2015, and the changes we made in a year are unreal. I've never seen that much evolution and that much change in day trading. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to get you up to speed, and hopefully you'll enjoy this presentation and really get your hands dirty and know how to use the package. So what is StocksToTrade? I briefly touched on that, but we are a charting platform, a news platform, a research platform, level 2, a news filter, watch list, a stock screener, both aftermarket as well as real time. So if you're doing research outside the market hours, we're there for you. If you're showing up at noon and you want to see real time what stocks are hitting particular key levels, technicals, fundamentals, any of these things you want to see the hot stocks with earnings from a day ago, 2 days ago, today, we're all of that. So we are a real-time streaming platform, all of it in one spot. That is truly our goal, is to be really the only place you need to go. Not running 3 different platforms, not going to 10 different web pages. One spot, you launch our platform, and it's everything. So what makes StocksToTrade different and better? That is that constant evolution. That is the biggest thing. I mean, I have used trading packages that day traders love, and you can look at them from today versus 5 years ago, and other than maybe rounding off the corners of windows and changing the color scheme slightly, they are the same. So that is what makes us better, is every week we're adding features, every day we're tweaking, making small changes. I mean, we've added stuff literally a week ago that is all new that I don't know if anybody else has. We keep adding, we've added the stock halt and SSR streamer. As far as I know, nobody has that. These are all little widgets we keep adding each day to make us different and better. So let's get started. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start out with a plain vanilla install and just start stepping you through how to find anything. So the first thing is we have unlimited watch lists. So when you launch your platform, you're going to see this. It's going to be pretty simple, Zen-like almost, but how do you get started? So number 1 is you're going to start in the upper left with the eyeball widget here. So now we've got custom watch lists, and you can create literally as many as you want. So I myself trade on a day and swing type timeline. So I've got a watch list for each day of the week, as well as specific sectors I'll watch. Like you'll see, I've got a marijuana watch list. Depending on when you're watching this, you know, marijuana, weed-related stocks kind of come and go, perk up, and really get hot. So I will watch stocks based on the day of the day. I'll also have weekly lists, monthly lists. Maybe I'll have investment watch lists. You know, something like Microsoft or Apple that move a little slower, but are stocks that I believe in and want to trade. So I can then just quickly bring up those lists, and you see now I have my marijuana watch list with all of these tickers that I've imported. And the nice thing is I can go up here to symbols, and I can add, I'll just go with Apple, obviously not a weed stock, but I can hit that, add it. I can also cut and paste multiple symbols into here and add them to my watch list quickly. So quite frequently, maybe you're getting tickers from Twitter or some other source, you can cut and paste them, drop them right in here. Now the nice thing is, by default, I've got the symbol, I got my price, percentage gain, and volume. That's not all. So I add, there's a ton of things we can add. I'll show you what I add. So I always have the float, because again, right now, the float, the freely tradable shares, we won't get into that right now. You can Google stock float, and Investopedia has a good article, but I want to know if a stock is low float. So I can see here now something like, say, CANN, which is a weed stock with a 10 million float and a $3 stock. That's interesting to me. So that makes it very quick and easy for me to locate. I also add the news. So the nice thing is we can see if there's any news articles out that day for a stock. This is great for a watch list because, say I'm in a stock already, so maybe I own Apple, for instance, and I've got my watch list running. I now real time instantly know if there's a new news article. I'll have a 1, I'll have a 2, I'll have a 3, depending on the number of articles. I can then double click those, go straight to the news, and see what it is. Great, especially if you're looking to trade the news like a lot of day traders are. Or again, like I said, if you're already in a position, I now know, oh crap, there's news. I want to see if this is positive or negative and how that addresses or how that affects my position. Maybe I want to exit. Maybe it's a positive news article and I want to add to my position. But very quickly, one spot I can see that. Now we have a ton of other stuff. You can have pullbacks, reclines, ranges, the market cap. We can get into some fundamentals, sectors, industries, price to earnings, differential based on the dollar or percentage off of the high or the low. Again, you're getting to see how configurable stocks to trade is. And this is just in the watch list, okay? All of these options. So, and then maybe, I can also add the market. So maybe I only trade NASDAQ stocks, or maybe I only trade OTC stocks. So I can now see the market, and I see now, okay, all these other marijuana stocks are OTC stocks. Apple, obviously not a marijuana stock, but it's a NASDAQ stock. Not interested. I can delete it off of my watch list, and I can focus based on exactly what I want to see. So that is the beauty of the watch list, is I have all of this information, quick glance, right at my fingertips. Then I can scroll through my watch list, so I can go through, boom, 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 boom. Again, maybe this is, investments, and maybe this is, again, weed or energy stocks. I can quickly scroll through, because obviously if you have a watch list of 1,000 stocks, it's not manageable. Maybe I have 10 watch lists of 10 stocks. I can scroll through them quickly, see if they're moving based on the percentage gain or loss, and you can see red or green. I also want to see if they've got volume. If you're a day trader, something you'll quickly learn, you may see a stock that is volatile, but if it doesn't have enough volume, it's not tradable. So even if you're trading small, if there's a stock only trading 100,000, couple 100,000 or less shares a day, you can't get in and out easily. So normally you want to avoid those stocks. So again, as an example, I've got Galt as a ticker right now in this weekly watch list. Couple 100,000 shares, not really liquid enough for me. I can just delete it, remove it from my row. Nice thing is I can see that quickly in one click. So it shows you how configurable and user-friendly the watch lists are. Infinite combinations of possibilities, but that's how I use it. I have the ticker, the float, news, last price, percentage gain, and volume. That's what I focus on as a day trader. Next, we have the pre-built scans, which get you started fast. Number one issue everybody has is, okay, I fire up stocks to trade. I can see all these stocks moving. There's 16,000 tickers in the stock market. How do I even begin to get that down to a manageable list? I mean, I can't watch 16,000 stocks. I can't watch 1,600 stocks. I can't watch 160 stocks. I can watch 16 stocks, okay? So how do I get myself down to that list of 16 stocks? Now, maybe they're tradable, maybe they're not, but I got to get to the point where at least I can get a manageable list and I can start doing my due diligence, seeing if there's news, seeing if they're reaching key price levels. How do I do that? We get you started fast with the pre-built scans. So, again, back to your eyeball, and then we have top scans. Top percentage gainers, losers, new highs, and new lows. Now, I focus on both long and short. I focus on hot stocks that are moving to the upside. There's a lot of guys that will look to buy beat down stocks. Not my strategy. We have that in there. If you're looking for the biggest loser of the day, thinking that, well, hopefully it can bounce, we have that. Me, I focus on, again, long or short, stocks that are active, stocks that are booming. So the nice thing is, again, in my sidebar, I can add the top percentage gainers of the day, as well as the two I run are that and the new highs. Now, I'm filming this after market, so you won't see anything on the new high list simply because, again, what this does is any stock that is hitting a new high. I use the new high a day all the time when the market is open, especially into the market close. Because what I want to do is a lot of the times I will gap stocks. I will look to buy strong stocks into the close with the anticipation that they will continue the next day. So that is the high a day filter, the new high filter. Very, very great tool for especially guys that are under the pattern day trader rule. So if you're looking to not be in and out the same day, you can look for stocks that are strong on that day going into the close with the anticipation of holding them overnight, selling them quickly the next day. It's a solid strategy for the pattern day trader rule because you don't use a day trade and you take quick gains. So if you've got a couple $1,000 stock, a couple $1,000 account, if you can make $100, $150 each day, 2, 3, 4 days a week, all of a sudden your account isn't that small anymore. So that's the new high a day filter. And then I also always have running the top percentage gainers. Again, with those same criteria, news and float. Now we can add all those columns. Again, if you want to know, what their earnings per share is, their price to earnings ratio, what sector they're in, we can add those. But what I recommend is just adding the float and the news. So again, if I'm looking at the biggest percentage gainer with volume would be like URRE. This was a hot energy stock. I see it's low float, 4.7 million is low float. It's up 30% on the day, and it traded 7 million volume, okay? Again, the market's closed right now, but I can tell you that this is a stock that I am interested in. You can see big rip, multi-day rip, held its gains, big volume. So that is the type of stock that I am looking to trade going into tomorrow. Or, again, if the market was open, I can see real time, every print, see what's happening with that stock. So the nice thing is, again, all of these stocks aren't tradable. But what you see with one click, I now have stocks that are up big on the day, and I can quickly see if they have volume. This AHIT is a perfect example of a stock I know I can ignore. A stock that trades 20,000 shares on the day is not liquid enough as a day trader. So I can go through here and see, okay, URRE is in play. Nice thing, I can right click that stock and I can add it to watch. So today is Monday. I'm looking to trade this tomorrow. I can right click URRE, add it to Tuesday. BAS, very volatile, up 26%, plenty of volume, add it to watch. I'm going to add that to Tuesday. I go down here, VBIO, add to watch for Tuesday. And then GSAT would be the last one, add to watch Tuesday. So you see, 4 stocks, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just the beginning. But now I can go to that Tuesday watch list and start digging into the research, which I will show you how to do here in a little bit. But I've now taken a list of 20, 30, 40 stocks and whittled it down to 4 stocks with one quick filter. Shows you how quickly you can get up to speed with StocksToTrade. I don't know any other way, all these web pages, all these scanners that you can sit there and drill down and see the most active stocks with low float, which is what we're looking for. Hide these, and then again, what I'm trying to do is start out plain vanilla each time for you guys. So, so the pre-built scans get you started fast, and those are just the pre-built scans into the sidebar. The next thing we can get into is if you want to get even more elaborate without getting your hands too dirty with the screener, which I will show you later, we now have the pre-built scans in a screener format, which gives us even more. The sidebar is just kind of the quick launch bar, quick view. I can now go through and see the biggest dollar gainers, 20, 10, $5 and under. This is nice because I can whittle it down, especially, maybe I'm a true penny stock guy and I only want to see the biggest gainers under $1 based on percentage, dollar gainer over 3-day, 5-day, percentage gainers 3-day, 5-day, biggest gainers by exchange. Again, maybe I'm a true penny stock guy and I only trade OTCs. I can see the biggest percentage gainers on the OTC market with one click. Excuse me, also biggest dollar gainers, and then I can look for the biggest stocks with earnings in the past day or 72 hours, and then filter them whether or not they're actually up on the day. Because again, a lot of packages will give you stocks with earnings, but that doesn't help you unless the stocks are moving. So what's nice about this is with one click, I can see stocks with earnings in the past 72 hours, so the past 3 days, that are hitting new day highs, or they're up 5% intraday. That shows me that they're active. That shows me that they're moving. So what I can do is I can go to the biggest percentage gainers, $20 and under, and start again getting to work. Now you can see I've got 953 results. Not manageable, okay? How do I now take this list and make it manageable? Again, for brevity, I'm going to show you what I do real quickly based on I am looking to trade stocks from 50 cents to $20 that are liquid and low float. So I can go to filter my results, and then I'm going to add 50 cents to 20. Feel free to write these down. And then I'm going to look for, normally I don't trade stocks with 500,000 volume, but this will help me whittle the list down. So I start out with 500,000 on the low end of volume, and then the high end I just leave blank, okay? That way, doesn't matter if it's a million, 10 million, 100 million, whatever it trades, I'm only going to see 500,000 and above. Then I want to look at stocks that are up a minimum of 10% on the day. Because if they're only moving 1%, 2%, even if they're on the biggest percentage gainers list, that's not that interesting to me. Then I can also filter by number of trades, dollar volume. Number of trades and dollar volume are handy, especially if you're trading like a true penny stock, okay? If you're trading a stock that is 3 cents, 500,000 shares is not that many. So you can filter by number of trades or dollar volume, which is very handy. So now I can filter that, and you can see, boom, beauty, perfect. I've got 16 stocks ranked top to bottom based on those criteria. I went from 953 to 16, and you can see that now I've got a manageable list. And I can just keep going. If I want to see stocks that are only up 20%, you can see if I do that, I'm really going to get my list more manageable because now I've got 7 stocks. We see some repeat offenders, some guys I'm interested in. URRE, we talked about, BASS, VBIO, GSAT, these are all interesting stocks. So if we find another one that we haven't picked up yet, say this IMNY, same idea, I can right click that, add that to Tuesday. I'm now building my research list to go into the next trading day. Another thing you might notice is we have a symbol for whether or not the stock is halted or under the SSR. You can see that these 2 stocks are under the SSR, so they have a yellow S. Again, that is the short sale restriction. I won't spend too much time on that. Again, Google short sale restriction or the uptick rule, and there's an Investopedia article for that as well that will tell you why you want to know that. So for me, especially as a quite frequent short seller, I want to know if a stock is under the short sale restriction, and I can see that quickly with that icon. Then all of these columns, again, are user configurable. You see I have the same stuff I want to see, volume, percentage gain, bid ask, and the float, but I don't have my news on, so I can go add basics and news, and now I've got my news column, whether or not there is a new news article recent or today. So again, maybe the market's open, URRE has a news article, I want to double click that, and I want to see what the news is. So you can see how I took the 953 stocks that were the biggest percentage gainers, 20 and under, and I got that down to 7 results. Couple clicks, boom, boom. That's the power of StocksToTrade. And that's without even, again, I can filter by earnings, price to earnings, simple mover to averages, daily volume, daily range. We can get way more complicated. But to me, KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. I like filtering mostly by price, volume, float, and whether or not there's news. So next is whoops, let me get back to my presentation here. The news streamer, I left out an S. News streamer. So we have a real-time full news scan. So it is really, again, another thing that I don't know if anybody else has this. If they do, I have not seen it where it is filterable to our level. So what I can do is bring up the news scan, and this is just a generic news scan, and you can see there is everything here. I mean, press releases, Seeking Alpha articles, SEC filings, everything. This is what I call the fire hose of information, which is great, and you can trade off that if you want. But for me, again, I don't necessarily care about something like Nike or Apple because these stocks don't move that much. I want to focus on the stocks that are moving today with news. So how do we do that? We go back to our filters. So the beauty of it is now I can focus on news or SEC filings, either or I can filter based on the news. So I want to see, again, stocks that are 50 cents or above. They have some volume, and they are moving on the day. Now, again, before I hit filter, remember I'm filming this after hours, so let's see what we get. So unfortunately, we don't get any feed because it is after hours on a holiday, so I'm not getting any news right now. But if we were open, you'd see just the tickers from 50 cents to $20 with volume. And then the nice thing is I can then add and show a percentage gain, and I love this. I use this especially in pre-market. I mean, I get up early, but if you're here pre-market and you're looking for stocks that are active, because normally if a press release comes out, a positive article, those quite frequently come out in pre-market, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 8:30, 9 a.m. I always have this news streamer running with those filters, because if there is a $2 stock with news and it's low float, there's a good chance that that is going to be the hot stock of the day. So even if you don't have a watch list built yet, you show up new to the market on Monday morning and you're looking, okay, I want a stock to trade. Not always, but if you've got this streamer running and it's a low price stock with low float, it's got volume and it's got news, that is a stock you want to watch that day. So the beauty of it is, I can quickly go to that stock, double click it, and then I've got my chart, all my information in pre-market, and I can then look to potentially trade that stock. So very, very, very powerful feature. I mean, I run it literally 24/7. So again, because the beauty of it is I can go from that fire hose of thousands of articles a day down to only that criteria, and I have it running on a second monitor, and I tell you what, if I see an article pop in there, I am on it, because I know that low price, low float stocks quite frequently move very quickly, very hard when there is a catalyst, a news article. So huge feature, love it, I use it every day. Next is the streaming halt and SSR monitor. I mean, we haven't even gotten out of the sidebar yet, so I can tell you that's there's so much we offer, but I want to focus on just what is usable today. So next thing is this halt and SSR monitor. So why is this useful to me? Number one, if I am long or short a stock and it has triggered the SSR, I want to know that. The SSR is triggered when a stock is down 10% on the day. So why is that useful to me? Quite frequently, a stock drops that hard, triggers the SSR, I can look often to buy that stock, because short sellers can get stuck into that SSR trigger. Now, they won't get stuck for days, but quite frequently you can get a bounce off of that aggressive downside move. Or if you're a biased short seller, same idea, you look for shorts to get stuck and then a bounce and then short that bounce. Now, that's kind of an advanced technique. We're not going to get into that much, but the nice thing is that you can look to, if you're looking to trade those stocks off of the SSR, I run this, again, side monitor all the time, streaming. Anytime a stock hits the SSR or halts, I know it. Why do I want to know if a stock is halted? We've seen this quite frequently recently. If a stock halts on news pending, then we can look to aggressively trade that stock once it unhalts. So if I see a stock halt, which would be a ticker and a red H, I can then go see why. And if it's like halted news pending, that means I want to look to maybe target that stock for a buy or a short out of the halt. It's an aggressive technique. I don't recommend it if you're new, but there's a lot of guys that will look to trade out of the halt once the stock unhalts based on what the news is. Again, I don't know anybody that offers this. It's just very nice to know. Or even if you're in a stock, I mean, if you're in a stock and it halts, you want to know, okay? You can't, if you're day trading or investing and your stock gets halted, trust me, you want to know, okay? You want to be laser focused on that thing using your news streamer to find out why it halted. So quite frequently, as day traders, we're trading volatile stocks and they can halt and you want to know. So again, very nice feature built into StocksToTrade. Next, we can set alerts based on price, volume, and more. We've got that. I'm going to go into that a little more once we get into the total view is what it's called. But just know that I have my alerts here and I can see what alerts are pending out of my basically out of my alerts tab here. So I'll get more into that, but if I had any pending alerts, you can see what the alert was, the parameter, what the symbol was, and then what my target was, and then whether or not it was triggered. So very nice, especially for part-time traders or guys. I mean, a lot of us are multitasking, so you've got a you've got a day job or you've got a business, so you want to be able to know if a stock hits a particular price, volume, or other criteria. You want to pop up an audio alert so that you can go back to, say, doing your day job, and then you hear that audio alert, you know, okay, time to trade this stock. So that's the nice thing about the alerts area. And I'll get more into that, trust me. So next, the beauty of the metaphor of StocksToTrade is we went with like a tabbed workspace idea, kind of like almost like a web browser. I'm sure everybody's got Chrome or Safari or whatever, and you end up running, you know, multiple tabs. That is the same metaphor we went with StocksToTrade. So you can see that I've got a new tab here. I can keep opening up tabs, and then each one of them I can quickly launch, say Apple, say Microsoft, say Nvidia, some tech stocks here. So boom, boom, boom. I've now got 3 tabs of all the information I need, and I can bop back and forth to each of those tickers. So if I'm trading 3 stocks or looking to trade stocks, I can keep adding tabs for as many as I want. Now, obviously, you're going to get to the point where it's not manageable, but I can have 10, 20, 100 tabs open and just keep tabbing through those. And let me add some more, and I'll just show you what it looks like. I can do some duplicates just so I'm not SAT. And then if you get, so you've got multiple tabs, I've then now got my arrows, so I can sit here and scroll through as many tabs as I want, or close as many tabs as I want. So nice, just that way, again, if I'm tracking 2 stocks, 100 stocks, whatever, I have that tabbed idea. Then I'm going to show you, we get into the screeners as well, so I can have my charts open as well as my screeners. So that is the tabbed metaphor, and really I think it is for me, it's a very user-friendly idea. Again, because everybody, I don't know of anybody, has a web browser and only has 1 tab open or 2 tabs. So it's just a very familiar way to, and user-friendly from a user experience standpoint. So once we get to our tab view, what's our first one? We have the total view. Okay, so now we're going to start getting nitty-gritty. The nice thing is, with 1 click, I can bring up all the information I need. So You see I could type in a ticker manually, or I could go to one of my watch lists, and let's just go to Wednesday, and if I double click, I can now bring up AMMJ from my watch list. Or, very nice thing, for all of the windows in StocksToTrade, they're all window linkable. So you can see this Wednesday watch list. I have it linked by color. So this is a red watch list. I can now set my total view to red as well. This is a hack that I recommend everybody do, because of the fact now you can see I can go to ARRY and just one click, and each time I go through, each time I click, my total view is updated, especially based on my user chart. I can have each one of these time charts as well as have your total view with everything else I'm going to show you. So total view is exactly that. It shows you everything you basically need. We've got your chart, which we'll get into more later, but then we've also got the basics box, which shows you the day high, the day low, what the stock opened at, what it closed at, the daily volume, the 52-week high, what your average volume is, your market cap, your float, the freely tradable shares, price to earnings, and earnings per share. Again, we'll get into more of this, but I don't, just know that these are all things that all day traders want to see. We also have full level 2, full times and sales, and then a bunch of user configurable chart windows. So we can have multiple time frames based on all of these criteria, and then each time frame. So say I want to watch on a 2-day chart and a 2-minute bar, 5-minute bar, 15-minute bar, 30-minute bar, etc. And you can do lines and candles as well. Most of the time I use candles myself. Most day traders use candles, but you can use bar or line. Then we have a full suite of drawing tools. A lot of your basic technical support and resistance, breakouts, you can do all with lines. I draw lines all over my charts. Use this all the time. They all save. You can refer back for later date. Then we also have on the chart alerts, so that if there is a news article or an alert that comes up, like for instance Apple, you can see I've got all these news articles coming out. The nice thing is I can hover over those and see, okay, lack of Mac focus takes its toll. I'll use Apple because it has as an example, but there's tons and tons of news articles. The nice thing about day trading in low price stocks is normally you only have 1 or 2 articles a day, so you can quickly locate based on whether or not the stock is moving in relation to that. But the nice thing is, right on my chart, I can see what is happening, what the news article is, etc. And then I can also double click it right on the chart. I can see the summary, the chart, stocks mentioned in that article. So Apple and Microsoft were referenced in this. And then I can also just link over to the full article. So this is an instance, I won't launch it, but looks like something to do with Consumer Reports, but linkable. If I hit that, it will spawn a browser, and I can check out and get into the nitty gritty of that news article. Then I can shut those on or off. If I don't want to see them, I can turn off the news articles, turn the news articles on. Then next is my alerts. If I had active alerts, I could see those on the chart. So if I say have an alert for a $117 price level, I'd see that on the chart. Next is real nitty gritty. We can get into tons and tons of technicals. Again, I'll save this for later, but just know if you want to see your VWAP, or you want to see the Ikamocho cloud, or you want to see Fibonacci retracements, like I'll go to a daily chart on Apple, give us a little more detail here, and then I can add my Fibonacci retracement levels and see right on the chart, and I can turn those on and off. Very handy. Full suite of technicals. We don't have near enough time to get into all of these, but just know they're all available. Moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, MACD, stochastics, and you can even do custom. And then also, as I talked about, us being rapidly evolving and growing, you can add your own custom indicators. And this list is always getting longer. So we're always adding more technical indicators based on what traders are looking for. Then We can also go to this. So this is the total view. So now what we can also do is start getting into more detail if you want. What I can do is I can shut a lot of this stuff off if I strictly want to see a chart. So you can see I can turn off my basics, my level 2, my news, and my time and sales. And if I really want to just see the chart. Now also know I can pop out this chart. So again, what I do with multi-monitors is I've got a 1-minute chart, a 1-hour chart, and a daily chart, all on separate monitors, all linked by color, so that each time I'm in my total view, changing tickers, all 3 time frames are updated. So I see all 3 charts, boom, boom, boom. I've got my news, everything else. But then in my main space, I can have this, and if I say want to start drawing some lines to kind of get an idea of what I think are my support and resistance levels, so I can drop a line there, and then I can draw a trend line, for instance. So I can kind of build a wedge in essence. So now I can see potentially a breakout level, a breakdown level, and then I maybe want to see if this ascending wedge can hold into the close to potentially buy this as a breakout over these levels. I know that's a lot of kind of advanced talk, but just know these options are here, and you can really kind of start drawing on the chart and really start getting an idea of what you want to see price-wise. Then I can also just then go, I can undo and redo drawings, or I can just clear everything, get rid of those. I can delete all my indicators, and now I'm back to a nice clean chart if I want to redo my workspace. Kind of like if you were erasing the whiteboard in essence. You can start right back with a clean chart. Next is the drawing. Oh, okay, I went through the charting tools, the alerts, technicals, level 1, as well as news. So the next is the, well, actually, let me kind of go back through those just real quick into the total view screen. So again, you've got your basics box here. You've got your full depth level 2. You've got your time and sales box. So each time you see a stock, every time it sells or there's a buy or a sell, you'll see a red or a green price and the size. So you'll know how many shares were sold, whether it was an uptick or a downtick. Again, we're market closed, so there's no prints, but you would, if it was during the day, you'd see live prints, live level 2 full market depth, which is nice, especially if you're trying to determine if there's a wall of sellers or buyers. You can look at your level 2 and determine if there's more guys on the buy side or more guys on the ask side to try and determine if you think that stock is pushing to the upside or to the downside. Then the nice thing is it was full depth level 2. So you see every market maker in there, as well as how much size they're showing, how many shares they're looking to buy or sell. Then full time and sales with every uptick and downtick. So very nice to see. Next is more fundamental stuff, which I use every day. So what I'm going to do is get back to a clean chart here with some of this out of the way. So the next is, first of all, you've got this all down in the sidebar. I'm going to maximize it to make it a little easier for you guys to see. But we've got the first tab is my live streaming news. I can go by today, last 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, or the last 2 weeks. So I can right there break it down real quick as to, whether I want to see, how much news I want to see. Maybe, again, I'm a day trader. I don't really care about the news from 2 weeks ago because it probably isn't moving my stock today. So it's a nice way to filter that down. Next is SEC filings. So I can see every current SEC filing, whether it's an 8K, Form 4, especially if you're more of a fundamental investor and I want to really break down the nitty gritty. So I've got an 8K here, a report of unscheduled material events or corporate changes. Nice thing is I can hit this real quick, goes to my browser, brings up the full article, and I can really get into the nitty gritty here. We won't do that again here, but just know that's a nice thing, and that's so slick about StocksToTrade is I don't have to go to all these web pages and go around and dig for all these filings. Everything's right here, HTML, Word, and PDF, whichever my format is. Maybe I want to print this thing and get out my highlighter and start digging. I can do that with the PDF, all in one spot. This is streaming as well. So anytime there's a new SEC filing, it pops in. I see it right here in my total view. So if I'm sitting here focused on Apple and a new SEC filing comes out, pops in there, I can double click it, I can react. Ideally, you know, the markets are all about speed, so ideally I can beat the other guys to making that trade. Next is the events, which again, if this stock was going up 10%, down 5%, you know, we're closed, I can see that here. So if the stock's making a quick move, I've got a date, time stamp as to what the price movement of this stock is. Next is the profile. I love this, use it every day. A lot of these lower price stocks, I don't know what they do. I don't know what their sector is. I don't know, I don't know where their office is. Nice thing is we've got this here. I can see what sector they're in. I can see their address. I can see their web page. I want to go to their web page, check it out. Quite frequently in these low price stocks, sometimes their web page won't even come up, or it will be a broken web page. So we'll look to trade off of that based on the fundamentals of, you know, maybe their web page doesn't even work. Maybe that's a stock you want to short. Or again, I want to get a good idea of what their business is. I can click to it, go to their web page, see what these guys sell, you know, whether or not I can buy the product today. Can I buy their product, or are they all just a pipe dream right now? I can quickly locate that with their web page. Nice thing is we have a clickable map as well. Again, for Apple, it's not necessarily that usable, but if I want to see if this is some shady company that I'm looking to short sell, with one click, I can see if they're located in a strip mall or in a half-vacant building in some bad part of town, okay? I can also see, obviously, Apple has a beautiful, elaborate office. Maybe this is something I want to invest in. I use this a lot, especially if I don't know what the company does, what their prospects are, and if it's a $2 stock and I'm looking to buy or short sell it, you know, I'd kind of like to know if they are actually a real company. Thanks to the power of Google, I can see that with one click. Then, again, I can see what sector they're in. You know, maybe it's a hot, you know, like back when we had a lot of the police news, you know, body cams and stuff like that. I can see if these stocks are in that sector for maybe potential sympathy play. Then this is something I use again every day and love it, is the key statistics. Again, this keeps me from having to go everywhere else on the internet. I now have the full wealth of stock and financial information. I've got their market cap, enterprise, their sales, the price to sales, book value, enterprise value. I mean, we can just dig, profit margins, gross profit, operating cash flow. Again, if you're looking to long or short, you want to be able to quickly see this information. Especially as a day trader or a swing trader, I'm not necessarily maybe looking to get too into the nitty gritty. But if I'm looking to make a quick decision, I don't want to have to go to this web page, that web page, launch this program, launch that program. StocksToTrade has it all right here. The shares outstanding, again, we're focusing on a lot of low float stocks recently. I can see the float, shares outstanding. Maybe you're more of an investor. I can see the dividend date, the exclusion dividend date, when they last split, all of this information. And what I love about it is one spot. See, one tab, okay? Again, even if I'm over here in my total view, I can go to key statistics, and right here, I can be trading this stock, charting this stock, reading the financials, all one click, easy to locate. Next is the related tab. So this is very, very nice for sympathy plays. So again, if you're not familiar with sympathy plays, maybe you're new, what a sympathy play is quite frequently a stock in a particular sector. like you know, marijuana was like that, or Ebola was like that a year or so ago. You know, there were stocks that were in the Ebola field that were moving so fast, and there were times where you could find other stocks that were related to those that hadn't moved yet. So you could use the related ticker screener to find those and potentially get in that stock before it moved, because maybe all the other ones had already moved without you and you couldn't buy where they were at, so you were looking to jump in on the stocks that hadn't moved yet. So you can see related to Apple, technology, sector, industry, and sub-industry. So I can even drill down by sub-industry. So technology, computer hardware, consumer electronics. I mean, that really gets it down to a good list. And then I can see, based on percentage gain, market cap, volume, float, etc. So the beauty is okay, so say something like, oh, let's GoPro. Okay, consumer devices, they're up 2%. They say, you know, normally I don't, you know, say this float is a little lower, something I'm interested in. Again, I can right click, add to watch list, and maybe this is added to my market leaders watch list. So I can go market leaders and see how it popped up new watch list, and I can go through here and start adding all these tickers. Boom, boom, boom. Stocks to Trade is all about efficiency. We're day traders. We got limited time. We got limited time because of work, because of family, or simply because we need to be in these stocks before they take off without us. So the quicker you can be, the more likely you are to profit. And that's probably our #1 goal, to get all this information at your fingertips to allow you to make the quickest decisions to profit the quickest. So next is the stock screener. So all visual based, conditional programming, and infinitely, I mean literally, well, maybe not literally, but as close to infinitely configurable as you want to get. And then we also have the ability to save, export, and import screeners. So you guys can use my screeners, you can share them with each other, you can download them from our site to get you even more into the nitty-gritty. So let me clean up a little bit, open up a new tab, and show you the screener. So now I can bring up the stock screener. We have, this is another multi-hour video to get into, but just know that we can filter by all the technicals, whether or not there's earnings or news, the market, sectors, watch lists, as well as what type of stock they are. And when I say criteria, I mean look at pricing, liquidity, and each one of these are expanded. Technical indicators, I mean look at boo, I mean we've got a lot, as well as fundamental indicators, and all these studies can be expanded. I mean, it is, again, that's another video that'll be way, way longer for another day, but just know that the options are there. Next is, let me just show you a scan that I use every day, and that is the low float scan. So I can, once all my scans are predetermined, I can double click them, and here's my visual based, logic based, conditional programming statement. So what does that all mean? It just means that it makes it very easy, whether you're new, intermediate, or even if you're advanced, to build a crazy, or simple or as elaborate of a screener as you want, and be able to see the logic flow through. It's basically, you know, an if-then-else statement. So you can build this logic as simple or as advanced as you want. So what I will show you is one that I use every day, and especially now, summer, fall, winter of 2016, and going into 2017, that is working nonstop. I mean, I trade stocks off this screener almost every day. So what it is I've got a stock that's less than 20, greater than $1, and notice I have conditional statements. I can do and or. Just know if you're not a programmer, or if you are a programmer, just know you can get very, very dialed in on what you want to do. Then I want it up 10% or more on the day. There needs to be 5,000 volume on the day. So this is my pre-market screener. 5,000 isn't much, but I'm running this at 6 a.m., 7 a.m., 8 a.m. So any amount of volume that there is on the day, I want to see them. And then if the float is less than 10 million. So that is my gauge of low float. Some guys consider low float 2 million. Some guys might consider it 20 million. But for me, the sweet spot is 10 million. Now, I've got all these criteria run out. One double click, I bring up that scan, I hit run, and I now have the list of those stocks that fit that criteria. So you can see 18 stocks, okay? Perfect. I can filter those again by the criteria I talked about. So even if I catch my net with my screener is too big, I can then, and I catch, too big of a batch of stocks, I can now whittle those down with the filters as well. So just keep getting it down to that manageable list of stocks for you. I also have all my criteria again, and I can right click and add to watch list. So just know that there is so much you can do. I mean, I can look for stocks that are, this is my 52-week high scan. I'm looking for stocks with 1 million or more volume the day before. They're higher than $1, and then they are 2% less than or equal to the 52-week high. So that means that the stock is at or approaching within 2% of a 52-week high. So this is just showing you again how quickly I can isolate a small batch of tradable stocks. Again, we got to get that 16,000 stocks down to a manageable list that we can spend an hour on each day, half an hour a day, 15 minutes a day if you're really strapped for time. That's what the screener can do. Then I create my screener that works for me, I save it, and now each day, launch StocksToTrade, click, 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 add to watch list. I'm now looking to make trades with my limited time growing my account. That's the beauty of it. Next is, so what I can do, again, this is just some of the stuff I can do with the screener. I can filter for stocks that are meeting my criteria, find stocks that are hitting key levels. I can find stocks with recent earnings or events, find stocks that are moving and active in your time frame. Again, maybe you're an investor. You want to look at the year chart, or you're a day trader. You're looking for stocks on the 1-minute chart. You can do that. I can filter for stocks with news. I can find sympathy plays, like I mentioned with the Ebola or marijuana. And then I can quickly analyze the stock info and financials from that window, all in one spot. So StocksToTrade is truly the most user configurable and rapidly advancing platform. I mean, you can see I just spent an hour trying to go as fast as I possibly can to show you the main features of StocksToTrade. I mean, I really feel like I was rushing, but we're already an hour in. My goal was to have this webinar an hour. I'm going to be nowhere near it. And I just touched on the biggest features. So that is what is so awesome is we are truly the one-stop shop. And it's rapidly advancing. We've got stuff coming we had stuff added last week, and then we've had stuff coming tomorrow and next week and next year that is so sweet. So on that note, coming soon, first quarter of 2017, we have the Stock Oracle. That is a stock prediction algorithm based on Fibonacci levels. I don't have time to get into it, but it's really slick. What it is it gives you it's basically a watch list builder where you can launch the Stock Oracle, and it analyzes the stocks of the day and winnows them down to a list of 15 stocks that are potentially tradable on that day. Now, are all of these stocks going to go the direction you want? No, but especially if you're short on time, literally one click, you're presented with the 15 most active stocks of the day, and you're given predetermined long and short levels based on Fibonacci levels. So, do you automatically trade all 15 of those stocks? No, but you can go through, find 2 or 3 of them that are interesting, then if you're a Fibonacci trader, you can look at those levels, set alerts, and then trade those based off of the determinations by the stock oracle. Will they all be profitable? No. But does it give you a defined risk and reward and all done with one click? Yes. Exciting stuff coming soon. Paper trading is coming as well. You'll be able to actually buy and sell from your total view that I stepped you through with a paper trading account. So again, if you're new, or if you're not even if you're new, if you're intermediate or even advanced and you're looking to test a strategy, there's nothing like actually executing trades. So I could buy that stock at $1 and sell it at $1.50 based on this. Maybe you're looking to test the stock oracle and you're saying, okay, let's simulate a trade, but you're not willing to put your own money on the line yet. You can do that with paper trading. Very slick. You see the buy and sell right on the chart. You see the paper trading stock profit or loss, and you can test your strategy or someone else's strategy. So it's very nice. Then on top of that, broker integration is coming soon. You will actually be able to then connect your brokerage account on the back end and execute live real trades from your total view screen. Then there's more I can't tell you about. We've got actually some of the most exciting stuff is in active development. We don't know the timeline yet. We've also got some agreements with some companies that are still, with the lawyers. I mean, it's just, it will happen. But I wish I could talk about it. But it's basically under the non-disclosure point right now. But these are just the things that are coming soon. And just know there's even some more amazing stuff coming as well. So all in all, what is StocksToTrade? It is built by traders for traders. It is really, there's been plenty of platforms, as I mentioned in the beginning, that have tried to cater to day traders or investors, but in my opinion, they have never gotten it right because they were written by programmers or ex-traders or guys that maybe thought they knew what traders needed, and it was never exactly built by traders for traders. The features we have added this fall were directly requested by me with my 9 years of trading experience. They have been directly requested by Tim Sykes with his, I think, 20 years of trading experience, as well as other traders that say, hey, this is what I want. We go back to our developers, and within weeks, maybe months, that feature is in StocksToTrade. Everything in here has been requested by an active trader, not the programmers. The programmers didn't build this and build the feature list. The traders did. So really, it's built by traders for traders. So in summary, guys, again, I know I went a little long and I know I went fast, but I hope you can see, just scratching the surface, how much is there and how much is exciting in StocksToTrade. Now, if you want to learn more beyond this webinar, you can go to our YouTube channel. It's YouTube/C as in channel /StocksToTrade, or you can just search YouTube for StocksToTrade, and you can start seeing, I post, pretty regularly little how-to videos. So if this one didn't fully whet your appetite, you can go there to the YouTube channel and figure out more and get a little more in depth. And then if you're looking to take the next step, I also host and run the StocksToTrade Pro mentorship program. StocksToTrade Pro is basically live every day. We're looking to trade stocks, isolate stocks, find stocks with StocksToTrade. So StocksToTrade Pro is a level on top of StocksToTrade where you see my screen every market open, every market close, and see me screening for stocks, making plans, looking to trade those stocks, as well as each day you get a watch list built with StocksToTrade by me. So if you're looking to refine your trading, get much better at StocksToTrade, get much better at finding the best and most profitable stocks to trade, and if you're looking to see a live screen of that, literally every day, every market open, every market closed, as well as twice weekly webinars where we get into the nitty-gritty, much more advanced than I went into here. Email pro@StocksToTrade.com and we'll get you information on that program. So guys, had a blast. I really enjoy this. I mean, it is truly the most exciting project of my life being involved with StocksToTrade. This is an amazing platform, and we're just basically a year and a half roughly into it. I mean, when I look back at what we've accomplished in a year and a half and what we plan or what we have planned, I mean, it is unreal, amazing stuff. So thanks a lot, guys. And again, if you want any more info, just email pro@StocksToTrade.com and we'll be back in touch with you. Thanks a lot, guys.